to see everybody. We're at 10 o'clock, so we'll start. Got a bunch of stuff to go over. So you probably, I hope you all received the flyer that Front Porch has selected a new CEO. This person is Sean Kelly. He was formerly the president and CEO of Kendall Corporation, a not-for-profit senior living company since 2006. That's back east. He and his wife, I suspect, are moving out here to be in our Glendale headquarters. He'll start on March 6th, and of course, we're gonna miss John Woodward, but we welcome Mr. Kelly. So more to come as we learn more. COVID-19, as you know, we had a bit of a surge here after Thanksgiving, and we anticipate we're probably gonna have another surge after Christmas. There are obviously things that we can do, but just wanted to give you the current stats. Right now, we've got one staff member who's positive, which is wonderful, no residents at this time. However, the Orange County Department of Health is requiring that we reinstate twice weekly testing at this time. We're not really sure what prompted that with only one person being positive, but we have to follow their guidance. So testing will occur on Monday, 12/19, and Thursday, 12/22 next week at the regularly scheduled hours, and that'll be in your Friday memo. So wherever you used to test before, you'll continue to test again, and we'll do it in the LLC. Just kind of talking about precautions, a mask must be worn properly, i.e. covering your mouth and both nostrils during all indoor activities and events for the safety of all residents, staff, and visitors, unless the individual is actively eating or drinking. It's important to keep your mask on when you are speaking or singing. I have a caveat, because I don't want to rain on all of Christmas. Try not to. Please continue to notify nursing immediately if you have any symptoms, and you will be tested. As a reminder, even if you are negative for COVID, please remain in your apartment if you're symptomatic. So that means coughing, sneezing, congested, sore throat, runny nose, nauseous, muscle pain, general malaise, as your symptoms may be RSV or the flu, which are also infectious. Just a note about holiday decorations. To ensure the safety of all during the December holiday season, there are certain restrictions regarding the use of seasonal decorations at Walnut Village. Live greens such as wreaths and trees are not permitted. Artificial trees and wreaths with UL approved lights are permitted. We urge you to have our maintenance department check your lights for safety prior to use. I know that there was a question about a live wreath that somebody received as a present. We discussed it's fine on the balcony as long as it doesn't touch any lights. So we just want to make sure we're in compliance with fire code and that we keep everybody safe. Okay, now we've got a couple of big events coming up, and again, we want you to enjoy Christmas. We know you've been practicing. We're just asking for a couple of minor alterations. So for Chorale, which is going to have their big Christmas performance tomorrow, we'll be testing from 1 to 3 in the clinic. So please come by the clinic if you're a performer in Chorale so that we can clear you. Anyone symptomatic tomorrow, please plan to not participate because we are allowing the performers to sing without masks. We will do a sing-along, but if you're in the audience, we ask that you do keep your mask on for the safety of everyone. And then any guests, which we're not recommending, but guest performers, guests, if they do come, they need to go to the front desk and get a negative or a rapid test and test negative to be able to enjoy the performance. And then really the same thing with Chimers. Chimers has their big Christmas concert on Tuesday. And so all of the Chimers, please come to the gallery here from 1:30 to 2 prior to the performance that day so that you can get tested, make sure that you're negative so that you don't have to wear your mask. And there will be a sing-along with that too. So audience, we're asking that you wear your mask. Just a reminder regarding the regroup alerts. We'll want to make sure that you're getting the timely information. So if you're not getting, is anyone not getting regroup reports or alerts at this time? Okay, so we have your email or your cell phone so that you can get those alerts as they come out. So if you know someone who says that they're not getting those alerts, please direct them to Ernest or Lupe, and only Lupe can enter it into the system so that we can get you those alerts. But Ethan and I were talking, and because we had an incident here where we couldn't notify you all as quickly as we needed to, we looked into getting at least a PA system for the hallways, and we are gonna go forward with that. So we got the quote, we're moving forward. So do you know the timing on that? I'll let you kind of, when you come up, maybe give them a timing when they're gonna start. I know they have to probably order parts and stuff first.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be late January.
Late January, we're looking at the install. Okay, so that's good news. In the meantime, the best way to stay informed is to make sure that you're getting the regroup alerts, but it's also going to be really nice to have a way to communicate with all of you. Okay, and there was a request, and we think it's a good one. If folks are staying here during the holidays, in other words, not going out with family, there are now I'm staying here sheets in the post where you can add your name if you're staying here on Hanukkah, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, so that you can make dinner plans or any plans with folks who are remaining in the community. So we think that's a nice way to make sure that you're staying in touch with each other. So on that note, I'm gonna turn it over to Pam. Pam, you're gonna have to shorten that, obviously. It is by height.
Good morning, everybody. Is that good enough? What about now? Better? That sounds close. Okay, we're going to talk about some of the Department of Social Services COVID guidance reminders. Okay, I felt we needed to go over this again. The isolation for COVID-19 positive residents. Residents who test positive and are symptomatic at least 24 hours have passed since recovering, defined as a resolution of fever without the use of fever-reducing medications. When you're first getting COVID, you have that fever, so you are taking your Tylenol. We don't want to continue to take the Tylenol. We want that fever to resolve on its own, and it will after a few days. Resolution of respiratory symptoms, cough, shortness of breath. At least 10 days have passed since symptoms first appeared. Can be extended by an MD to 20 days in isolation for moderately to severely immunocompromised individuals. Some of you have COPD or heart problems. You're going to go by your MD's guidance. Duration of quarantine for residents exposed to COVID. Residents who are boosted and residents who have COVID-19 in the prior 90 days, who have close contact with somebody with COVID-19 infection and remain asymptomatic, do not need to be quarantined, restricted to their room, or cared for by staff using full PPE unless they develop symptoms or they're diagnosed with COVID. Quarantine may be considered if the resident who is exposed, moderately to severely immunocompromised, or if there's widespread outbreak. Duration of quarantine for residents exposed to COVID-19. Asymptomatic residents with close contact with somebody with COVID-19, regardless of vaccination status, should have a series of 2 tests for COVID-19. In these situations, testing is recommended not earlier than 2 days. Many of you are calling nursing department after finding out somebody had COVID and you were with them the day before. It's not 2 days. It's going to be day 2 and day 5 to 7 when we're going to test you. We'll test you on day 2 and then between 5 and 7 days. And by 5 days, you're going to know if you have COVID. That's kind of what we're seeing around here. So it said testing is not generally recommended for people who have had COVID-19 in the last 90 days if they remain asymptomatic. Residents who are unvaccinated or have completed their primary series and are booster eligible but not yet been boosted and who have had close contact with somebody with COVID-19 should be placed in quarantine after their exposure, even if viral testing is negative. Residents can come out of quarantine after day 7 following the exposure, day 0, if the viral test is negative for COVID-19 and they do not develop symptoms. The specimen should be collected and tested within 48 hours before the time of discontinuation of quarantine. Residents who are not tested again can come out of quarantine after day 10 following the exposure if they do not develop symptoms. And what we're finding out with this COVID this time is people are sick for a couple, 2 to 3 days, they're negative, and then on day 3, they're positive. So that's just this recent surge that we're having. Symptomatic but negative initially for COVID-19. For the safety of other residents, if you do have symptoms, you have a fever, you have a cough, runny nose, sneezing, shortness of breath, general malaise, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, we will ask you that you isolate until all symptoms resolve. Once symptoms resolve, please request a rapid test to ensure that you have remained negative for COVID. During that period that you're isolating, we will provide meal deliveries to you. A reminder that common areas are public areas. Any area in the building that's inside, those are common areas. If you are asked to isolate, we ask that you remain in your apartment and do not enter common areas during your isolation period. How to avoid getting sick from respiratory disease. Mask up, number 1. Practice social distancing and limit the time spent in close proximity with others outside your home. Wash your hands frequently. Stay in your home if you're not feeling well. And now it's Ethan's turn. Any questions on that? I know it seems a little confusing, but again, I just want to remind everybody, if you're not feeling good, please stay in your apartment. Thank you.
And I do want to let you know that along with your Friday memo, you're going to get a summary of all of these, because I know it's confusing and there's always a lot of questions, and so that way it'll be good for you to be able to refer back to and hopefully give you a little bit more clarity.
Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas. Okay, can everybody hear me? All right. So we got a few things going on this month and through the end of the year. Most of you already know about the spa closure starting today. We're going to get, hopefully get all of that staining out of there. So it'll be closed down from today until Monday. And we'll take a look at that and see how that comes out on Monday, but everything should be back open by then. Also, the renovation for the care center, we are scheduled to start January. We've already been having meetings over there with the construction crews, so you'll see shortly in a few weeks crews arriving in the care center parking lot with materials and trucks and stuff, so just be aware that that's what's going on over there. We shouldn't have an issue with noise because most of the work is going to be done inside for probably the first few months there. We are getting ready to schedule for the dryer vent cleaning again coming this year, so I'm looking at putting that in probably around February, March. So we'll keep you posted on that. And then we're also going to look into doing the AC duct cleaning as well this year. So we'll probably look at that after we get the dryer duct cleaning done. And also in the courtyard, we've had issues with the fountain and drains, so we finally got those drain covers on there. If you guys check them out, they look brand new now, not all rusty anymore. Also in the red chair lounge, the double doors that go in by the piano, we are getting ready to do an install for the automatic doors. So that'll be coming hopefully in the 1st of January. And then also at the pool locker room doors, we'll be adding those openers there as well. This week also, we finally, for the most part, finished up the parking garage access control. So you're gonna need your fob when you're in the garage to get into any of the doors. There's one set of doors by elevators 3 and 4 that are not completely done yet. We had some parts that didn't arrive, so once we get those in, we'll get those in. And then the elevators had to be rescheduled due to some wiring issues that they didn't anticipate. So we're almost there, but we have a few more things to get done. And out in the dock area, in the back of the facility, you'll probably see some fencing going up. So that's all of the new gates and the pergola that we're putting around the trash enclosures, just to give it a nice, better aesthetic look back there. Yes?
What's a pergola?
I'm sorry?
Pergola. Pergola.
The pergola is, it's gonna be an awning that goes over the top of the compactor. Just so you know that any residents that live on that side don't have to look at the trash compactor off the balcony there. And that's all I have. Kim's up next.
Before you go away.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, questions?
The closed door button in elevator 2 seems to have a mind of its own. It does not respond to gentle touch.
Yeah, that one I actually already have it reported because it's supposed to say closed door on it. It actually just has an arrow. So I got that ordered and we should be getting that replaced real soon.
Thank you.
Yes?
We came back from shopping on went up elevator 1, and I had to try three or four times to get the fob to work. The fob would turn it to green, and it stayed green for a little bit, and then it flipped to red. And
Okay.
then I tried again and do the same thing. It did that about 3 or 4 times before finally the elevator came.
Okay, we'll take a look at it and see what's going on. Thank you. Anything else?
The Care Center, we've been promised several years that we would have plans on display so we could see it. We were promised several times during the years that we would have plans on display so we could look at them.
Okay,
And already it's now 23, it'll be 23, and we don't have any plans that we can look at unless we go into one of the meetings or something like that.
okay. Well, I can definitely discuss that with Debbie and see if that's something we can put out for you guys.
Yeah, we do have some pretty small plans that are really hard to read because it's all sent via the computer. So I'll ask the architects to give us something that we can post on poster board or what have you, so that we'll put it in a location where you guys can all take a look. So some of the interior specs, the gardens, you know, the courtyards, etc. So we'll see if we can't get you something to look at.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to go over the holiday meals over the next couple of weeks so that nobody misses out. So this Sunday is the first day of Hanukkah, so we're going to have a traditional Hanukkah dinner in the Grove. And I've gotten several requests for tamales, so all next week in the bistro, the lunch special will be tamales. And then for anybody who doesn't eat lunch, I didn't want those folks to miss out. So on December 23rd, we'll have a traditional Mexican Christmas dinner, and that will include tamales. So we'll have plenty of tamales next week. Then on Christmas Eve, we'll have a special Christmas Eve dinner. And on Christmas Day, we're going to be having a Christmas brunch. That will be from 11:30 to 2. It'll be served buffet style in the Red Chair Lounge. We're going to charge holiday points, but it'll be holiday lunch points since it's a brunch. So it'll be 3 points for residents, 4 points for guests. Guests are welcome. When you're making your reservations, it'll be a seven person per table maximum for the reservation. Since Christmas falls on Sunday, and that's the first day of our weekly menu, the menu that you get today is going to end with Christmas Eve. And I want you to get that Christmas menu before next Friday. That will be too short of a time period. So as soon as we get that menu planned, we'll make a special flyer and put that in your mailboxes early part of next week, so you'll be able to see what's being served at that brunch. Mimosas and champagne will be served, and as always, please call the host desk to make your reservations or place your to-go orders. Then on New Year's Eve, we'll have our traditional surf and turf dinner with champagne. And on January 2nd, because when the first of the year falls on a Sunday, the Rose Parade doesn't happen. That happens on the 2nd. So Monday the 2nd, we'll have our pajama breakfast, pancake breakfast in the Red Chair Lounge, and you can watch the Rose Parade. Any questions? Yes, Eve.
The clipboards that are in the post now, those are sign-ups for these Christmas Eve and Christmas Day brunch and
No. Please make your reservations at the host desk.
what are those in the post then?
To let you know that you're gonna be here.
Yeah. Those are so that you can kind of communicate with all the other residents if you're going to be here on Hanukkah or Christmas Day or New Year's Eve. So it's not actually making reservations, it's just kind of communicating with each other so you can make plans with each other.
That's very confusing what it says at the top of them.
What does it say at the top?
Well, you sign up and
Says, "I will
there's
be
no
here."
time. It's just for the dinner.
Okay, we'll clarify. We'll clarify and redo those, okay.
I think it just says I will be here.
I will be here. I'm planning on being here if you want to make dinner reservations with me or whatever. So we'll make it a little bit more clear. And I meant to start the meeting and I totally forgot and I'm sorry, but I just wanted to thank the dining team for the wonderful resident resident holiday dinner that they did on Tuesday. It was amazing. It was really good. So thank you, Kim, and your team. Thank you, Kim. And next we have Susan. Gotta go back down again.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to let you know that December, we are going to have 6 move-ins, which is a pretty big number for the month of December. So our sales and marketing team, we're very, very happy about that. You can see up above the names of the individuals. The first one is Betty Newell. She moved in on the 8th into 243. Mark and Kathy Klein, they moved from Kentucky and they arrived on December 12th. They're in accommodation 265. We have another couple that is physically going to be moving in next week on the 22nd, Jean and Tom Yano. They have known one of our residents here through work when they were up in Los Angeles. So they're moving into number 370. Patricia Klotz, her husband has already moved into Summer House last month. She is going to be moving into 376. Physically, she's going to be here in January sometime. But both her and the Llanos are on a hold fee right now till they physically move in. And at our last town hall, I explained what the hold fee meant, is that they are paying 70% of their rent till they physically move in. Just to clarify that question that came up last time. It's a brother and sister that are gonna be moving into separate accommodations. Dale is the brother, he's moving in first on the 29th of December, and he's going into 201. And then his sister Kathy, she'll be on a hold fee also on the 31st of December, but then arriving here on the 3rd of January. We've luckily only had one move out, which we have known about for some time. That was Paul Simons, and his daughter did the release yesterday. So that will be another accommodation, number 249, that my team will be marketing to outside people. January, we do have actually 2 new move-ins other than the hold fees. We have Joy LaRue, who will be moving into 347 at the end of January. And then there is Marty and Sandy Hoffman, who some of you have met before when they did a guest stay several months ago. They will be moving in on January 17th, and they're going into 182. So, like I said, it's been a very busy month for sales and marketing. We're going to be ending up probably over 92% for our occupancy. So we're very happy. You just got to keep it up. And for all of you, just remember, anybody that you have, there are the referral fees going on still for you at the $5,000 credit. Okay, thank you. And happy Hanukkah and very happy holidays if we will not talk to you again before.
Next up is Ryan.
We'll keep this short. Shirts are still available for a low general donation of $20. We just sent off our first round of donations to the Alzheimer's Martin County Association the other day. And keep it on your calendar. I just found out that on April 1st is going to be the walk at Angel Stadium. So there'll be plenty of more information to come. Mark it on your calendars, April 1st. It is a Saturday. There'll be plenty more information to come. It is also that time of the year where we're all going to say, it's New Year, new me. I'm going to make a bunch of New Year's resolutions, then I'm going to forget about them in about 4 days. Sounds familiar? Yeah, 4. That sounds, well, maybe 2. Depends on what it is, I guess. Just a tip. I'm not going to get on a soapbox, but don't make a resolution.
Just do it.
Well, easy enough to say. Try to make a habit. Think of it that way. Not a resolution, a habit. That's it.
We won't make you have more slides, so we'll bring this up.
Hello.
Hello.
So mine's a fun topic. Scams, which is very prevalent this month. The first one is gift cards. Holiday season, the scammers go really wild with the gift cards. If you're buying them in store, you want to check. You can't hear me? Okay. Better? Okay. You want to check to see if you're buying them in store. If on the back of the gift card there's a little scratch area, if it's scratched off and it shows the PIN number, then someone's probably already looked at that card and taken the information down. So don't buy any cards where it's scratched off. Make sure that the scratching part is still on there. Also, a lot of times you want to look through the back of the pack, and sometimes it doesn't look as tampered with. And if you can, buy them from the register when they keep them behind the register so no one's looked at the cards, or you can buy them online only from a reputable source, not from like a Facebook Marketplace or any other place where you're not sure who is sending it to, like eBay. Also, if you receive a card, make sure that you use it pretty soon, just in case anyone does have the numbers, you can use it before they do. And also, what's been happening a lot lately, and I just printed this because I just got this last night from Amazon, and it has order confirmation scams. These are unexpected calls, texts, or emails that often refer to an unauthorized purchase and ask you to act urgently to confirm or cancel the purchase. These scammers try to convince you to provide payment or bank account information, install software to your computer or device, or purchase gift cards. So if anyone's asking you to do any of that, just hang up. You'll never need to provide your information over the phone, like credit card information. And if you have any question about that, just hang up and call your bank, if it has to do with a bank, or if it has to do with like an Amazon purchase. Just hang up, or don't answer the email and go to Amazon.com or whatever company you're dealing with to their website and check your account. All right. And a a lot of times, text messaging is big right now. If someone says, we're trying to deliver your package, do not answer that, that is a scam. If you are expecting a package, just call that company directly and see when it's supposed to get here. And that is about it. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Invite Chaplain up here, but I have to say it's pretty depressing that you buy a gift card and you can't use it because somebody's already gotten to it, so. I think all of these are really good tips to be aware of. Okay, here you go.
Hello. Hello. It's good to see you. Regular and ongoing chapel events. We have Walnut Village Church that continues to meet in the chapel every Sunday morning at 10:30. Worship services are open to everyone, regardless of religious belief. And in our worship services and in our weekly Bible studies or Bible discussions, it's kind of good that we have people who attend and participate who disagree with each other and especially disagree with me. It's, I think, very good to be thinking, to be struggling with issues rather than having pat answers and getting everybody's agreement. So even if you don't agree with what the preacher says, or you have questions about what the Bible says, it's still good to be a part of our gatherings. We have the ongoing monthly bereavement support the first Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. in the vault. We continue to have the weekly Summer House Bible study and bereaved worship service on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. in Summer House, and those are good times with with half a dozen to a dozen residents of Summer House in which we sing songs and pray and have a regular abbreviated worship service. For those of you who would like to participate in a Shabbat together by Zoom, if you're not already participating in such a service, we have a service that's being offered by Zoom on Friday afternoons at 4:30, and I would welcome you to be a part of that. See me in advance if it's something in which you would like to participate. And then, of course, the chapel news, the monthly newsletter about the happenings in the spiritual care department is available in the Post. And it's there the first Monday of every month. So the December issue is currently there. I invite you to pick one up, look it over, read it, see if any of it speaks to you, and let me know. Let me know what part spoke to you. If you have any questions based on anything that's there, let me know. The dialogue, I think, would be really very good. Upcoming chapel events. The last of the weekly Advent suppers for this year will be December 20th. Now, we use the veranda room. Am I pronouncing that correctly? The veranda room? Yep. We used that room this last week, 2 days ago, in order to have our Advent supper. We only used it because we had to. The LLC was being used for another activity. But we found that it worked out very well. The dining staff really prefers to use that room for our program rather than the LLC. Quite honestly, it's a prettier room. My concern was disturbing other diners who weren't part of our program. I didn't want to be making so much noise that it would disrupt, those of you who, were dining in the Grove. And from what we heard thus far, it really didn't disturb anybody. And the dining staff has requested that we use the veranda as opposed to the LLC for our final Advent supper. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's, with permission, let's go ahead and have our final Advent supper in the veranda room this coming Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And be sure and sign up for that so that so we get an idea of how many people attend. We're having let's see, we had 27 there this past week, and I think we had about the same the week before. So, and that's pretty close to our maximum. So it'd be great to have you sign up in advance so that we know about how many people are coming, and then let's plan for the last of the weekly Advent suppers this year, Tuesday, December 20th. Now, on this coming Tuesday, this coming Advent supper, our musician will be here, and he will be playing songs, playing Christmas carols. And those of you who would like to will have the opportunity to join in singing with those songs as well. And our musician is really very good. He's very popular. So that's part of what we have to look forward to for the final Advent supper. We have a Christmas Eve worship service here in the chapel at 11 a.m. on Saturday, Christmas Eve. And then, of course, on Sunday morning, we have our regular Sunday worship service at 10:30 a.m. here in the chapel on Christmas Sunday morning. Chaplain services that are regular and ongoing, spiritual. We believe that everyone has their own spirituality. It looks different for everybody. People have different ways of expressing their spirituality. So the whole idea of dealing with someone's spirituality isn't to make you fit into a certain mold, to believe it a certain way or to do it a certain way. The goal is to find out how you express your spirituality, how you would like to express it, and then find a way for that to happen. Meet you where you are or where you want to be. And that's the whole goal of spiritual services. Not to create, but to enhance. Not to impose, but to offer. The spiritual is the connection with the transcendent, the awareness of the inner life, the connection of the two, and in all of that, in all of life itself, finding meaning. That's spirituality. Chaplain services also include the religious. A lot of people express their spirituality through their religion, and I've given you certain events that we'll be having that are very religious events, which you're invited to participate in, if that's your way in which you choose to express your own spirituality. And then, of course, there's the emotional. Sometimes people would like to get a little bit of counseling, end-of-life counseling, personal support, small group gathering. We do all of that. And if that's something that you would like or that you would benefit from, let me know. And then several of you have. And we can help out in that area as well. So have a wonderful rest of the year. Enjoy the holidays. And I think you folks are absolutely wonderful. Thanks.
I don't know who's responsible.
Not me, Earl.
Okay, but I really appreciate the how someone went out to give our suppers a little bit more supper. Like this year ago, all we got was soup. This year we had soup, we had salad, we had dessert, and I even had a little coffee. That was kind of nice.
That is absolutely, well, if I knew it was going to be a good thing, I would have taken responsibility.
Well, that wasn't you.
It wasn't, but still, it's outside my purview. It's our dining services coordinator that takes care of that. They do an excellent job. I'm really impressed with the competence of our staff that's here. Now, just so that everybody knows, Advent suppers are a tradition here at Walnut Village. So are our Lenten suppers. Now, Advent is more of a time of celebration and joy, and therefore an Advent supper will have more food because we are celebrating. So we have the soup and the salad and the dessert and even a little bit of coffee. Now, when we do our Lenten suppers, which will happen in a few months, sometime around February or March, our Lenten suppers are going to be a lot less, okay? Lent is a time of fasting, of going inward, of being very somber and serious and introspective and contemplative. Therefore, and there's a lot of fasting that goes on during Lent. Therefore, our Lenten suppers will be back to the soup, something to drink, no dessert, that kind of thing. So it's a seasonal kind of thing. We celebrate, more food. We fast and pray, less food. But that will be the idea behind all of this. So thank you for mentioning that, Earl. I appreciate that. And thank you to the dining staff for preparing that for us and allowing that to happen. Are there any other questions at all? Thanks.
Did you get mine? It's up there.
Nope, but I put something together for you, so come on up.
I didn't send you one.
You didn't send me one, but I made one up based on your calendar. I'll go look.
Okay.
You want this?
Yeah, a couple things. I did send you one.
Okay. All right, couple things. Today is the last day for Spark of Love. I've received a lot of gifts, also a lot of cash. So if you would still like to contribute, I'm going to go out this afternoon to buy gifts. Just kind of see me and maybe give me a little something, and I'll go out and buy the gifts for the children. They will be picking them up on Tuesday, and there's a lot this year, so I'm really, really happy. A couple of things I do want to remind you. There is an asterisk on the weekly and on the calendar. What that indicates is that you have to sign up in the book, in our activities book. We're having a little bit of a problem with that, and recently we have been able to accommodate those who have come without signing up. I don't want to be the Grinch. I'm tired of being the Grinch. I want to be the happy person. So please try and sign up. There are still some spaces available for the Chimers, as well as the chorale concert, and as well as our trip. Our holiday walk, resident apartment open house, is on the 19th. That's a little confusing too in the book. I'm going to put a flyer out once I find out exactly who is opening their apartments, because I think they've signed up on the side that says I want to go. So I'm working on that, and I will have a flyer out for you by tomorrow on that. Then we're going to have the casino. Oh, we're going to have Hanukkah. Hanukkah celebration is on the 23rd. Happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish residents and to their families and friends. I do have a cantor coming in at 4 o'clock on the 23rd. There again, you have to sign up because space is limited. What I'm going to do, starting the first of the year, I'm having a little bit of a problem trying to figure out what you want to do and where you want to go. So I'm going to put out a small survey to see if you can give me some insight. Problems with surveys: the ones who only want to do things are the ones that sign up or fill out the survey. So what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to offer a prize. I'm going to take all of the surveys, and then I'm going to choose one, and you're going to get a very nice gift card. So please fill the survey out when it comes out. And even if you haven't been doing any activities and you want to do some activities, tell me.
Because if you don't tell me, I can't make it resident-centered. So that's my effort for 2023. It's gonna be a wonderful year, I guarantee it, because we're working really hard for it. So happy holidays to everybody, and thank you. And participate.
So we're getting close to the end here, and I wanted to share something that Colleen shared with me. Oh, no, let me do this one first. Residents who moved in, we kind of already did that. Roger Klotz moved into Summer House. His wife will be moving in soon to 376. Joan Kennedy, who is a delight, and I think many of you have met her. She moved into 379. Betty Newell, 243, and then Kathy and Mark Klein, who some of you have met as well. Very nice couple. So that's lovely. Okay, wanted to share this little anagram that Colleen shared with me. It made a lot of sense. The official mascot of 2020, 2021, and 2022 always wears a mask, compulsively washes its hands. Letters of raccoon rearranged spell Corona. So don't forget to adopt a raccoon this Christmas. And then finally, thank you for welcoming me. This is my first holiday season with you, and I have to say it's been delightful being here. I think I can speak for all of the team that we are wishing you a very, very happy Hanukkah, Christmas, and a prosperous and healthy new year. Let's try to stay safe and keep each other safe so that we can enjoy 2023 and all that that's going to bring to us, and we look forward to that. So on that note, does anyone have any questions? Then we wish you a very good weekend, and we will see you for the holidays.